Most people who work to become professional screenwriters or TV writers, they're not going to make it. That's just the unfortunate reality. The important question is why? Why is there such a huge failure rate? The conventional answer is talent, that most people just don't have the talent to make it. And it doesn't matter how many books they read or how many classes they take or how many scripts they write, they're just not going to make it. It's just the way it is. So let me confess something. When I first started teaching at UCLA, I believed in the conventional wisdom. And here's why. Every class that I took, every class that I taught, there'd be one or two students, like right away I could tell there was something different about them. They had the talent. There was something about their writing that just popped off the page and made you take notice. And the rest of the students, I would never tell them this, but secretly, I just could tell they probably didn't have a chance to make it. And sure enough, that one or two students, they'd go on and have careers, and none of the others would. And I always wondered if there's something I could be doing better, if there's just something I could be doing to help increase their chances. So I talked to my colleagues, and this is what they said. Corey, look, don't take this so personally. Here's the reality. Just because someone has the dream to become a professional writer doesn't mean they have the talent to become a professional writer. No amount of teaching can change that. It's just the way it is. We teach for that one or two students, and the rest of them, they're just not going to make it. And they'll figure that out, that they don't have the talent, and they'll quit. It's just the way it is. And that never rang true to me. It felt like we were doing like screenwriting fantasy camp or something. Here's the good news. Here's what I now know. The conventional wisdom is bullshit. It is not true. The reason most people fail at screenwriting is not because they lack some genetic inherent talent. It's because there's certain essential skill sets required to write at a professional level. Very few people are naturally strong at these skill sets. And guess what? They're the ones who have careers. But everyone else doesn't have to quit because these skill sets can be learned, they can be developed. And I know this for a fact because I've seen it. I've seen people have been writing for years, writing truly terrible scripts with nothing to show for it. They learn and develop these skill sets, and their writing exponentially gets better, even to the point where they're finally able to go and launch a career. I've seen people who've never written a script before in their lives, complete newbies. They learn and develop these skill sets, and they move down their learning curve to the point where their first script or the second script they write is far better than most people's 6 or 7 scripts. Learning and developing these skill sets obviously doesn't guarantee someone professional success. I wish it worked that way, but it wasn't. But here's what I know, and I know this for a fact. Any writer who's not naturally strong at these skill sets, and that's most writers, if they don't learn and develop these skill sets, they're basically guaranteed to fail. That's just the way it is. Learning and developing these skill sets is the single best investment any writer can make to long-term success. You know, David Mamet, in his memo that he wrote to the writers of the unit, he was talking about writing in a way that grabs a reader and make them want to keep reading. And he said, nobody naturally writes this way. It's a new skill. It can be learned. And you have to start to train yourself to do it. This is the way screenwriting should be taught. Hopefully this is the way screenwriting will be taught. Start with the skill sets, learn and develop them, then go and write screenplays. I guarantee anyone who does that will write at a much higher level than anyone who doesn't.